Welcome back, everyone, to this Explainer. We're jumping right into one of the absolute most intense, lore-heavy moments we've seen so far. I'm talking, of course, about that completely unforgettable confrontation from Episode 6, The Silent Escape. We're going to focus entirely on the mechanics of how the suspense is built here. No filler, just the raw, brilliant architecture of a totally perfect scene.
Okay, let's actually kick things off by starting at the very end, the ultimate hook. Principal Vance drops this absolutely chilling threat. In fact, she's already inside your house. I mean, wow. This single sentence literally shatters Ethan's reality. It takes this massive kind of abstract corporate espionage plot and drops it violently right onto his front porch. And why does this matter so much? Because mastering suspense is all about taking the geopolitical and making it terrifyingly personal in the blink of an eye.
So, Part 1, the high-tech standoff. To really understand how we arrive at that terrifying threat, we've got to rewind a bit to the initial physical power dynamic in the room. You can see exactly who holds the cards before a single threat is even spoken out loud. Ethan just casually stands up, smooths his blue polo shirt, and calmly tucks a notebook under his arm. It's just a sequence of super mundane, relaxed motions, right? Contrast that with Vance, who is literally frozen in place, hands raised, teeth gritted in sheer panic. This is a total masterclass in visual storytelling, establishing Ethan's dominance without him needing to raise his voice even a fraction.
And what exactly is causing Vance to freeze up like that? Well, hovering right nearby is a drone, humming with electric energy, and it's loaded with a non-lethal neurotoxin dart. The hyper-specific consequence here is what's so brilliant. It induces sleep for exactly 48 hours if the target moves a single muscle. Highlighting that precise 48-hour penalty really emphasizes Ethan's calculated leverage. He isn't making some vague, empty threat. He has mathematically secured Vance's neutralization.
Moving into Part 2, the Vanguard conspiracy. That physical standoff we just looked at, that was really just the appetizer for the devastating psychological warfare that comes next.
Ethan walks into that room fully believing his grandfather was a saint and that the Viper Syndicate unjustly took his company. But then Vance drops the absolute hammer. He reveals that Ethan's grandfather actually stole the technology that built Vanguard Industries in the first place, and the real original owners want it back. This is way more than just a plot twist. It's the total destruction of our hero's entire motivation. Just imagine having your core beliefs wiped out in a single sentence, while you're supposedly the one holding all the power.
Which brings us to Part 3. Enter the Apex Council. The crucial takeaway here is that the initial corporate theft, the very thing Ethan has focused on this whole time, was actually a massive red herring for a much deeper escalation. Vance systematically just dismantles everything Ethan thought he knew about his enemies. The Viper Syndicate? Turns out it's just a front. The true owners of the tech are a terrifying, shadowy new group known as the Apex Council. And the ultimate kicker here is that the council's leader is already dangerously close to Ethan. This is where the script completely pivots the power dynamic. Sure, Ethan has the physical weapon with his drone, but Vance has the informational weapon. And in this confrontation, information absolutely wins.
All right, Part 4, Anatomy of a Cliffhanger. As that power dynamic completely reverses, the pacing accelerates, and we basically watch Ethan's heart drop as sheer panic sets in.
Just watch how incredibly fast this sequence unfolds. Reacting to Vance's words, Ethan urgently switches his earpiece channel over to his home security monitor. And what does he see? His grandmother's rocking chair is moving, but it's completely empty. It injects this classic ghost story trope right into the middle of a high-tech thriller. Then comes the devastating confirmation. He spots his nanny lying unconscious on the floor. The writers managed to bring this massive, faceless geopolitical threat directly into Ethan's quiet living room in literally a matter of seconds. It's efficient, it's brutal, and it totally leaves you gasping for air. Which brings us to the ultimate puzzle of the scene. We know the nanny is unconscious on the floor. We know from Vance that the Apex Council leader is supposedly already inside the house. But if the leader is orchestrating all of this, who or what was actively rocking that empty chair? I'm going to leave you with that terrifying final thought. It perfectly encapsulates the sheer brilliance of this cliffhanger, leaving us all desperately checking the dark corners of our own rooms and eagerly awaiting the next piece of the puzzle. Thanks for tuning into this explainer. Keep your focus sharp, and I'll catch you next time.